Yeah, yeah, and my grandmother really just was standing next to her and cooking. That's where it started. I mean,
Yeah.
my grandmother moved in with us when I was 13. We lived on St. Simon's,
All right.
and every Thursday night was like salmon patty night, right?
Yeah, there's another cheap one.
I remember her pouring that salmon out of the can, and it looked like cat food to me. I wanted no part of it.
My grandma was not a cook. My grandfather was the cook. So I grew up watching him like make ham soup
Yeah.
and vegetable stew and one.
Where was that? Ohio.
Ohio.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'm just going to tell this real quick story, and then I want to get back to grandma. But electric stoves come out, right? And my grandfather was going to make gravy, but he had cooked the roast in the pan, in the glass pan in the oven. He takes it out,
Yeah.
and my grandmother, who's not a cook at all, I've never saw that woman cook,
Dang it.
starts yelling at him, Jim, that's got to break, because he's heating it and trying to make gravy in the glass pan. And
like
he's
he
like,
has.
oh, that's fine, Helen. And 2 seconds later, the whole thing just goes, horse shit. The only thing I think I ever saw my grandfather make a mistake, and it was just so funny.
In the kitchen.
In the
And
kitchen.
what worse is a grandmother who isn't cooking, right?
He's
Calls
like,
the shot from
calls
the
him out.
living room.
That's gotta blow up, Jim.
Yeah.
It's
So,
fine,
and
bro.
Nana made these salmon patties, and like I said, the salmon came out of cans and it looked like literally like a cat food to me. Maybe bad cat food.
Smells a little like that.
Yeah.
too.
And so I started going to the pier and catching crabs because we lived on St. Simon's, and Nana and I made crab cakes together. This was it. I learned how to catch the crab, cook the crab, together. She and I, we had no idea. Like, there's no telling how much crab we messed up trying to figure it out. But out of that, developed on my menu Nana's crab cakes. And but she was super cheap with the crab, and I'm not. That's the only change.
Well, she had to feed all of you guys, right?
Well, and depression child, and all of that. And but Nana used to leave the wrapper from the butter. She had a stack of them, and I never could figure out what it was for.
What was it for?
It's for cast irons.
Oh, she just rub it after
Rub
she
the
washed them.
thing.
She'd rub them with
Right,
the.
man. Like I said, yes, brilliant.
Come on, TikTokers,
Yeah.
where are you on that one?
After you grapeseed oil your rust off your pans, coat it with some butter,
Just a
baby, and you
leftover
won't have to
butter.
do it anymore.
That's brilliant. Yeah, I just spray mine with a little cooking spray,
Yeah.
hang it up. But yeah, you waste not, want not, right?
Yeah.
They did. They saved everything.
Everything.
We are the most wasteful
Oh my gosh.
people.
Yeah.
And how? We just went. That's just 2 generations ago.
Right.
From like super recycling, reusing all the bottles, canning, to just
All of that.
throwing.
And
I hate putting a sandwich in a plastic baggie, in a Ziploc baggie to take it with me somewhere. But I have to. I do it.
Right.
But I hate it because
Right.
I'm like, this is such a waste. I'm just carrying it
We need
for a
to
half an hour somewhere.
develop the purple kelp sandwich bag so your sandwich tastes like bacon and it's good for the earth.
Well,
Dang it. I just let my greatest idea out ever.
we'll cut that out. There is no such thing.
No
There is
kelp.
no such thing.
No kelp baggies. So all of that. But I mean, can you imagine how happy my grandmother, who spent every day in the kitchen cooking for everybody,
Would be to see that on the menu.
the canned food. What a brilliant time for her, right? When the canned food started coming out, like, oh my gosh, lima beans in 20 minutes, not a 6-hour process. In that was lost, though. The loss of learning how to shell our own beans and just all of that, prepping them and cooking them and putting fat back or whatever. And so I think that's what, for me, at this age in my career, is bringing back those techniques and turning it on to the next generation, because we don't want to lose that.
No.
I mean, I'd love to know how to make a spearhead for an arrow. It's a lost art. I don't know how to do it. I'm never going to know how to do it.
Did Grandma leave the recipe book, the index cards,
Oh,
the
man, I
anything?
got them all, baby.
You got them all? All right. Someone who finally got them.
Yeah.
You'd be amazed how many people talk about
Right.
Grandma's recipes, but yet nobody seems to have them, or like Grandma wasn't going to give them away.
Right.
Right? Like they just locked in the vault or locked in the head.
Yep.
and they're never going to get passed down. And it's why?
I